Welcome to a Fifth of Jack Gaming, where we're going to be diving in to a deck tech. This month's deck tech is going to be called Leftovers, because I took cards that I ended up having laying around the house and tossed them into us. And now another thing I wanted to make sure that this was a really beginner deck style that went with it. I wanted to make sure that if you're brand new to the game, this is something that you can end up playing. So I came up with Raga Draga Gore-Guts Boss. Red, green. I felt like it would be a perfect place to start off with. So, green being the nice base that could come over with it, you could play a bunch of stuff, ramp into it, and be able to play on. But with that said, let's dive into this deck. So we're over at the folks at Moxfield to be able to show you guys this list. Raga Draga is the commander of this deck. Costs 2, a red, and a green for a 4/4 human boar legendary creature. Has to be legendary because it's our commander. Each creature that you control with a mana ability gets +2/+2. So that means if they just have a mana ability, they'll be able to get +2/+2. And then whenever a creature you control with a mana ability attacks, untap it. So that means we also end up attacking with our little guys that have the mana abilities. Untap them, and then use them again for something else in our second main phase. But we gotta continue on because this has a third little text on there. Whenever you cast a spell, if it at least 7 mana was spent to cast it, untap a target creature. He gets +7/+7 and gains trample until end of turn. Nice solid way. I don't have plans for it, but there's a bunch of different ways that we can end up going down that path. So I also have everything sorted by type and mana value. So as you're going to see, everything's going to be low to the ground with it. So let's start. The creature is kind of the main focal point, so we'll hit that last. We'll start over with sorceries. You got Green Sun Twilight. It's another little tutor effect. And then you also have Wildest Dreams, Regrowth, Revive, Call of the Scions, Harmonize, Overrun, Overwhelming Stampede, Sharonic Revelations, Rescar's Expertise, and then Timber Symbiosis. And then we also have, finally but not least, Azuri's Purgation. In the instance, we have the good old-fashioned Fog, Tangle, and the Obscuring Haze. In the enchantment routes, we have In Search of Greatness, Awakening Zone, Beastmaster's Ascension, Garrick's Uprising, Leyline of Abundance, and Zendikar Resurgent. And now we're over to the lands. It's not super exciting, but we have a Copperline Gorge, an Evolving Wilds, 16 Forest, 1 Gruul Gate, a Cassock Wolf Run, a Lair of the Hydra, 10 Mountains, Racer's Ring, Raging Ravine, Rockfall Valley, Terramorphic Expanse, and then a Treetop Village. And now we'll dive into the creatures, all 42 of them. Starting off the page is Birds of Paradise, Fenhorn Elves, Gilded Goose, Land of War Elves, Orgachi Leaf Caller, Devoted Druid, Druid of the Crow, Duskwatch Recruiter, Elfhelm Druid, and then we have Gemhide Sliver, Genesis Hydra. It's going to be a next little addition that you'll be able to see that we'll go over with it. We'll end up breaking that down into the actual deep dive of the deck. This is going to be the deck list or the deck tech. So if you want to be seeing the deep dive of what the synergies that we have with the deck, you have to watch the deep dive, which will be for after this episode. Goblin Animaster is a Carotid, Leafkin Druid, Llanowar Speaker, Orgachi Sustainer, Paradise Druid, Plaguemere, Quarian Explorer, Sakshiki Chuki Visionary, Tangled, Forhedron, scroll around down, Boros' Hydra, Werebear, the best one out of the bunch, just because he's a bear. Whisperer of the Wilds, Zata Druid, Eternal Witness, Heron Blade, Llanowar Tribe, Llanowar Visionary, Riskar, Primal Renegade, Vivid Joiner, Beast Whisperer, Bramble Sovereign, Eyeless Watcher, Camarada's Acolyte, Timeless Witness, Woven Wall Oddity, Bellowing Tangleworm, Emrakul's Hatcher, Kamal, Fist of Corrosa, Enraged Runners, and we finish with Kamal, Heart of Corrosa. So like we ended up making this deck, so what do you guys think of it? Let us know down in the comments down below. And if you're liking the content that we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified whenever we come out with new content. Also, stay tuned, because in a little bit we'll also be dropping a deep dive, because this will be also the deck that I'll be playing over at FNM. So that's why we have the deep dive being a little bit later for the deck. So stay tuned, and until next time, we'll see you later.